This hour. We'll be learning about the production of gametes, the process of meiosis, the parts of the female and male reproductive system, as well as its common diseases, and many more. The first topic we'll be tackling is about the production of gametes. We have Jenny Betsikatin to report on this.
Gametes are reproductive cells that unite during sexual reproduction to form a new cell called a zygote. In humans, male gametes are sperm and female gametes are ova or eggs. Sperm are motile and have a long tail-like projection called a flagellum. Ova, however, are non-motile and relatively large in comparison to male gametes. Gametes are produced by a type of cell division called meiosis. They are haploid, meaning that they contain only one set of chromosomes. When the haploid male and female gametes unite in a process called fertilization, they form what is called a zygote. A zygote is diploid and contains two sets of chromosomes. Gametes are mature sperm and egg cells. The ovary contains partially developed egg cells, and each month, one or more complete their development.
Now we'll be talking about the major differences between the female and male meiosis process with Spencer Uma.
Spermatogenesis and oogenesis. What is the major difference? Spermatogenesis is the process by which spermatozoa develop within the wall of the semiferious tubule of the testis, and oogenesis is the process by which ova or egg cells develop within the walls or tissue of the ovary.
During spermatogenesis, a diploid male germ cell increases in size to become a primary spermatocyte. The primary spermatocyte undergoes meiosis and cytoplasmic division, forming 4 haploid spermatids. Each of the haploid spermatids differentiates into a mature haploid sperm.
During oogenesis, a diploid female germ cell increases in size to become a primary oocyte. The primary oocyte undergoes meiosis and unequal cytoplasmic division to produce 1 haploid ovum and 3 polar bodies. The 3 polar bodies disintegrate. Only 1 functional gamete is produced.
Now we will be talking about what comprises the male reproductive system. Juniper Sunyas has more to this report.
The male reproductive system consists of the testes, a series of ducts, accessory glands, and supporting structures. The ducts include epididymis, the duct of differentiation, and the urethra. Accessory glands include the seminal vesicles, the prostate gland, and the bulbourethral gland, while the supporting structures include the penis and the scrotum.
The primary role of the male reproductive system is to produce and deliver sperm to fertilize an egg in the female. These sperm are produced outside of the body cavity by the testicles, which are located in the scrotum. The scrotum protects and supports the male reproductive organs that are located outside of the body cavity. These include the testicles, epididymis, and vas deferens. The testicles produce about 300 million sperm each day. However, this is possible only if the temperature of the testicle is 93.2 degrees Fahrenheit. The scrotum maintains this temperature by adjusting how closely it holds the testicles to the body. The interior of each testicle consists of multiple lobules, containing 2 or 3 seminiferous tubules. It is within these tubules that sperm formation begins. The sperm moves out of the tubules into the epididymis, and then into the vas deferens. The vas deferens carry the sperm upward into the body cavity. After the sperm leaves the vas deferens through the ejaculatory ducts, they pass the openings of the seminal vesicles. The seminal vesicles, which are located near the base of the ejaculatory ducts, secrete a thick yellow substance to nourish the sperm. This secretion forms 60% of the volume of the semen. Semen is the sperm-containing fluid that is ejaculated at the climax of male sexual excitement. From here, the semen travels into the 8-inch long urethra, which transports both urine and semen, but not at the same time. At first, the urethra is surrounded by the prostate gland, and then it is surrounded and protected externally by the penis that is relaxed except during sexual excitement. During sexual excitement, the penis stiffens and enlarges so it can deliver the sperm into the female vagina. During the expelling of the semen, which is known as ejaculation, the prostate gland secretes a thick alkaline fluid that increases the ability of the sperm to move in the semen. Located just below the prostate gland are the bulbourethral glands. These glands open into the urethra, and, during sexual arousal, they secrete the pre-ejaculate fluid that flushes out any residual urine from the urethra. It also lubricates the urethra to help the sperm pass through. When the male ejaculates into the vagina of the female, the sperm must travel upward through the uterus to fertilize the egg in the fallopian tube.
The sperm is the male sex cell, but how is it secreted? We have Hemocerilia. More on this.
Spermatogonia are the cells from which sperm cells arise. The spermatogonia can divide by mitosis. One daughter cell remains a spermatogonium that can divide again by mitosis. One daughter cell becomes a primary spermatocyte. The primary spermatocyte divides by meiosis to form secondary spermatocytes. The secondary spermatocyte divide by meiosis to form spermatids. Spermatids differentiate to form sperm cells.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Now we'll be talking about the major reproductive hormones produced by the male reproductive system with Marvin C. now.
There are 6 major hormones in male reproductive organ. First is gonadotropin-releasing hormone. Ultimately controls sperm production and testosterone levels. Second, follicle-stimulating hormone or FSH, released by anterior pituitary, stimulates the production of sperm in the seminiferous tubules of the testes. Third is luteinizing hormone or LH, also called ICSH or interstitial cell stimulating hormone. Fourth is aldosterone, less abundant and less effective than testosterone, made by interstitial cell in the testes. Fifth is testosterone. It helps stimulate spermatogenesis in the testes, also called with FSH. Inhibit, acts as negative feedback, goes to brain to slow the release of FSH and GnRH.
Now we'll be talking about what comprises the female reproductive system. Christine Solit has more details.
What comprises the female reproductive system? The female reproductive system consists of ovaries, uterine tube, uterus, vagina, external genitalia, and mammary glands. The internal reproductive organs are located within the pelvis and between urinary bladder and rectum. The uterus and vagina are located in the midline, with an ovary to each side of the uterus.
Female reproductive system. Female reproductive system is more complex, both structurally and functionally. It consists of a pair of ovaries attached with ligaments to the uterus. The ovary produces female gametes or ova. In close relation to the ovary, oviduct is present. It is a funnel-shaped structure, usually with fimbricated margin. The end serves to pick up the ova liberated from the ovary. The proximal end of oviduct enters into the uterus. The uterus is a muscular bag. The wall of the uterus has 3 layers of tissue. The external thin membranous perimetrium, middle thick layer of smooth muscle, myometrium, and inner glandular layer called endometrium that lines the uterine cavity. The endometrium undergoes cyclical changes during menstrual cycle, while myometrium exhibits strong contraction during the delivery of the baby. Under proper hormonal stimulation, uterine endometrial wall gets modified for the implantation of the fertilized ovum and also form placenta and fetal membrane during intrauterine development of an embryo. Uterus opens into a long tube, the vagina, the opening being guarded by cervix of the uterus, a sphincter that prevents the entry of harmful bacteria and other substances inside it. Vagina serves to receive sperms after copulation. The accessory glands associated with the female reproductive tract are Bartholin's glands opening by ducts at the external genital opening. Associated with the female reproductive system are mammary glands, their function being the nourishment of the young ones during prenatal life. The mammary glands are paired structures, breasts that contain glandular tissue and variable amount of fat. The glandular tissue of each is divided into 15 to 20 mammary lobes containing clusters of cells called alveoli. The alveoli open into mammary tubules. The tubules of each lobe join to form a mammary duct. Ducts join to form a wider mammary ampulla, which is connected to lactiferous duct through which milk is sucked out. The female external genitalia include mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen, and clitoris. The opening of vagina is part.
And now with the production of egg cells with Alfredo Valencia Jr.
Female produce eggs by the process called oogenesis. These are the steps. Step 1. Oogonia divides by mitosis to produce other oogonia and primary oocytes. Step 2. All the primary oocytes remain in the state until puberty. Step 3. A secondary oocyte in the first polar body results from the unequal division of the cytoplasm. The secondary oocyte begins the second meiotic division, but stops at metaphase 2. Step 4. A secondary oocyte and a second polar body are formed.
Now we'll be talking about the major reproductive hormones of the female reproductive system with John Leandro Sartorio.
The female reproductive system is composed of two main classes of sex hormones secreted by the ovaries, which are estrogen and progesterone. These two hormones contribute to the development and function of the female reproductive structures and other female sexual characteristics such as enlargement of the breast and distribution of fat, which influences the shape of hips, breasts, and thighs. In addition, the female menstrual cycle is controlled by the cyclical release of estrogen and progesterone by the oviducts. The luteinizing hormone from the follicle-stimulating hormone stimulate the secretion of these hormones from the ovaries.
And now we're going to be talking about the common diseases of the female reproductive system with Jessamel Singson.
Endometriosis is a condition involving colonization of the abdominal pelvic cavity with islands of endometrial tissue. Endometrium is the lining layer of the uterus which sloughs off with each menstruation. If endometrial tissue flashes up the uterine tube and spills into the abdomen, the clots of endometrial tissue can attach to abdominal organs such as the bladder, rectum, intestinal loops, and then the cycle along with the uterus is response to monthly changes in ovarian hormones. Bleeding into the abdomen irritates the lining membrane, the peritoneum, and causes abdominal pain. Pelvic inflammatory disease or PID. Although males have a closed abdominal cavity, the female abdominal cavity has a direct anatomical path from the outside via the female reproductive tract. Bacteria can make their way up the vagina through the uterus and transverse the uterine tubes, which opens into the abdominal cavity. Inflammation of the lining of the abdominal cavity, the peritoneum, causes abdominal pain. Although there are many potential causes of PID, gonorrheal infection is one of them. Chronic inflammation of the uterine tubes can occlude them, resulting in infertility. Prolapsed uterus. It is where the uterus is almost directly above the vagina. In fact, the cervix, the the neck region of the uterus extends into the upper vagina. Ligaments hold the uterus in proper position so that it does not prolapse or herniate into the vagina. Severe prolapse can result in the uterine cervix protruding from the vaginal opening. Surgical repair is typically required to restore the uterus to its proper anatomical position.
And that concludes today's edition. I'm Jude Trujillo, and from all of us here on TPMNS News, we wish you a good day wherever you are. Thank you for watching.